Hello everybody, and welcome back to this week's episode of Dinosaur Island. Let's get started. In today's episode, tragic has happened. A whole lot of tragic has happened. So much, in fact, that we named this episode Tragedy. It's for the dinosaurs. It's not a good day for them today. So let's take a look what's been happening in these guys' life. Over by the west side of the plains, we see Hunter, the male Tyrannosaurus Rex. Right in this time of year, it is mating season for Tyrannosaurus Rex, and he still has not found a mate. And it looks like he's looking for one today. His life is already hard enough with this large size. He needs to keep himself stable with hunger and water. If he does not find a mate to help him with this kind of problem, he might not live on Dinosaur Island much longer. Meanwhile, in the dark forest, it's not going so good for Buck and Scarlet either. Even though they don't have to worry about mating season, their eggs have still not hatched. They are worried that they are rotted away. Hope does not seem like a thing to these Tyrannosaurus Rexes right now. Scarlet is just as worried as Buck of her eggs not hatching. She has wanted to be a dino mother for so long, and she just got the chance, but it might not be happening anytime soon. She follows Buck's trails and goes to sleep with him as well. But good things are still happening on Dinosaur Island. As we can see, it's Leo, the male Triceratops, sleeping. Not too far away, we can see Jeremiah is still awake for some reason. And he still seems very intrigued by our cameras. But the part to where I say hope is still happening on Dinosaur Island is that, I don't know if you know this, but in the last episode, well, not the last episode, but a couple episodes ago, we saw that Leo and Jeremiah, Leo, he didn't have a mate. Well, in fact, his mate died because, she was eaten by a predator. But in the episodes we haven't seen him, he has found a mate. A strange specimen indeed, but this is a Triceratops. A little different. On this island, this is like the only specimen of Triceratops horridus of this species that has evolved to this state. But indeed, it is a Triceratops. Her name? Well, we can't think of a name right now, but all that matters is that Leo has found a mate, and the potential of mating and having Jeremiah's sister or brother is a very high possibility on Dinosaur Island. And not too far away from Leo and his mate, we see two Stegosauruses. This one is a teenager. His name is Brown Spike. Mostly because of his unique coloring for his spikes to be brown. Usually, Stegosaurus on the island have bright colors like the Dimetrodons, but this one is unique. and his younger sister dubbed. Well, once again, just like Leo's mate, we can't figure out a name for her, but she soon shall have one. She is a juvenile. It seems that these guys are alone, with no male or alpha female in sight. It's likely that they've been taken down by predators larger than them. If this is the case, then life must be very hard for these two. Oh. He almost knocked Brown Spike almost knocked down our camera. But nonetheless, they're fine. They're surviving and thriving on the south side of Dinosaur Island. A few miles away from both the Stegosaurus herd and the Triceratops herd with Leo, we see a specimen or subspecies of spiked dinosaurs. Despite it looking different, this is an Ankylosaurus. Like I said, for the Triceratops, these guys have evolved, well, this specific one, because all the other Ankylosauruses on this island do not look like this. So, yeah. This one in particular must have faced multiple predators and involved in oddly a very quick period of time. We don't know how quick these animals can change, but it happened. But somehow all the other dinosaurs on Dinosaur Island haven't done the same thing. Maybe these are the only two specimens that have the ability to adapt to their home. But luckily for you and me, we're about to see why this Ankylosaurus evolved to this state. The reason why is because he lives only a few miles away from an ultimate killer. It is Ralph, the male Giganotosaurus, or Giganotosaurus, however you would like to pronounce it. He is stalking this Ankylosaurus. In his past, he has stalked one of these before, multiple times. And from his experience, he knows that these guys are not very easy to kill. You must go for the underbelly, or the underside of their neck. But yet, that is still a challenge. So he must be very cautious for what he is about to do. He has been stalking this Ankylosaurus for quite some time now. Maybe even a couple of hours at that. And he has grown impatient and strikes. With all his might, he knocks it over. His underside is exposed. And Ralph begins to perform the coup de grace. With one single right place bite to the jugular, the Ankylosaurus is dead. Meanwhile, on the other side of the south, this is a place we haven't seen yet. This is the southern jungle. This is where Hunter lives. He appears to be feeding on a dead Stegosaurus. And this is not the Stegosaurus we saw earlier. This is a different specimen. A fresh kill. You just hunted a few minutes ago. Then suddenly he rises up. and begins to go in a direction to a certain place on this side of the island. Believe it or not, this is the direction to go to if you wanted to go to the dark forest, you would have to go in this direction. It's only a couple of kilometers away, and with his size and speed, he should be there in a couple of minutes. 50 minutes later, he has arrived. There was a specific reason he came over here, and that reason was because of his past group and pack. Buck and Scarlet still resting, not knowing that Hunter is here. Only a couple of days after they encountered each other again, he has returned. He misses them, even though what he did was wrong. But that is not the reason why he is here. See, the eggs that Scarlet laid are not Buck's eggs. They are Hunter's eggs. He, in fact, was kicked out of the group pretty recently, only 8 months ago. And he comes to see his eggs once again. And for some reason our cameras still cannot pick this up, but they are there indeed. He really does want to join the pack again. But even if he did, he would still be at the bottom of the ranking. So he leaves to go find his own mate and start his own pack. He knows if they do hatch, which is most likely not going to happen, Buck will hunt him down. Buck, we did not tell you about this, but Buck has a darker side to him. But he knows that he won't have to worry about this problem because the eggs already seem to be rotting away. He returns to his nest. Well, not nest, but he returns to his home and roars in the sky to hope that luck will come his way and he finds his mate. He hopes that he finds a mate someday soon, hopefully. But then he finally goes back down to his home. He comes back down after his roar to the sky. He starts to finish eating his carcass. See you next time on Dinosaur Island, whenever that will be.